Sit like a king. Wear that brown skin like oike. Tie that kampala like the Black Panther you are. Do you not know that the price of Atarodo can never tear you down? That grace you wear upon your crown is fertile, as pregnant as the seed your childhood dreams first perceived. Hello, my name is Isidima Nnamdi, also known as Flowers Express. I am a writer, a spoken word poet, an actor, a voiceover artist, and a content creator. This is my creative story. Okay, so I would say my creative journey started ever since I was a child. I have always loved writing. I think I always wanted to be the female Chinua Achebe. But then I grew up and I realized I don't have to be the female of any other person. I can be myself. And so in 2021, after the COVID lockdown, I started my content creation journey proper. I first started, posting my short write-ups on Instagram. And then I tried imitating other creators I knew, like Hawa and all that. And I tried to be funny. Some of the time it was funny, some of the time it was not. And I think so far, I would say it has been quite entertaining. There have been moments when I've just wanted to laugh. There have been moments when I felt so down. There have been moments when I felt like I was not heading anywhere. But I kept going. I kept, moved from just the written form of content to the video format, which I practically moved into this year. And it has been a journey so far.
Why did I kill him? Why did I kill him? Wait, did you seriously just ask me that question? Okay. Maybe because he killed you first.
What inspires my work is, I don't know, this drive I have to just be successful. See, I am allergic to giving up. I just can't. Even though I try to give up, I just keep getting pulled in that direction. Like something keeps telling me, no, Flowers, this is where you're meant to be. This is your journey. You can't just drop everything because something has happened. So I would say what inspires me is the drive to be who I am always meant to be. And if I say who inspires me the most, I would say my family. My mom, my sisters, my parents, they've been my rock ever since I was a child. Trust me. From the beating of Cain days when the mom will beat me because I'm always writing in the room, to growing to that age where she just gives me the space to be myself. She's always motivating me. I see my sisters being who they are. My family are my big motivators, and the people around me, my creative friends, they inspire me to be who I am, and people I also look forward to. So would it be funny if I said my creative process majorly started in the bathroom? Like every creative thought I've had or any idea I've had for content, most of the time, it begins in the bathroom. I can just be scrubbing my head and all of a sudden, boom, this idea just comes out of nowhere. And it's so annoying because you cannot skip out of the bathroom to write at that moment. So I have to store it in. And once I'm done, I get to my notepad or I get to my journal and I just scribble down. So the process begins with first conceiving this idea, whether in the bathroom or walking home or probably when I'm cutting vegetables to cook, or just conceiving it first, then jotting it down, then executing it. So the important thing is I have to always jot it down. And then, the execution process. So what I do is, because as of now I'm not a full-time content creator, I am a student as well as I work. So what I do is I batch create content. So I note them all down in my notepad and I figure out a content schedule where I figure out a particular time when I can post, when I can make the content first, edit the content, and then finally post. It's a whole process, but it's worth it at the end.
Can't you see I'm pregnant?
Sit down now. Let me tell you about the danger signs in pregnancy. Once you see this sign, if you are pregnant, please run to the hospital.
How I handle creative blocks is simple. I take a break, I do something different, probably like take a walk or lie back in bed, listen to music, and I don't think about anything. Meaning that moment I have to just rest, I rest. I don't think about anything. I don't think about what I have to write or the work I have to do. I just lay back and let nature do its own work. Because trust me, writers are told to always write and always create, but there are times when you don't have to always create. You just have to allow nature do its due process. I think to date the biggest challenge I've ever faced in my creative career is imposter syndrome. Yes, I have it a lot. Imposter syndrome is something I've battled with over the years, trying to find my own voice, especially as someone who has multiple talents. Like, I keep asking myself, what can I do? Like, what do I do with my life? So I look at these people who have reached so far in their creative, their journey, and I think, oh, I can never be like them. Oh, they've done so much. Oh, see how many followers they have. They have so much engagement, and it just brings me down. And so I think, no, I know that I'm certain that one of the ways I've been able to battle imposter syndrome is constantly reminding myself of this particular thing. Everybody has said that thing you want to talk about. Trust me, if you've thought about doing something, somebody else has thought about it. They've done it. But you have to always remember that that person is not you.
You try to fight back. Never saw yourself as perfect, more like a work in progress.
Last year it was Emeka. This year it is Josh from Instagram. When you go finally realize
That you cannot choose those who do not choose you.
So what I do to stay productive, I do a couple of things actually. So one thing I've mastered is finding what I love doing and things that make me happy. So some of the things that make me happy is reading. One, I love to read. I love to watch movies, and when I say movies, I mean crime fiction. I have a kind of affinity to crime fiction, so I either watch crime fiction or I read or I listen to music. And my favorite music artist is Fela Kuti. Anybody that wants to hang me, may they hang me. But that's my favorite artist. So I do either of those things, and they just help me stay productive. I handle criticism by first not seeing them as criticism, but seeing them as feedbacks. I mean, I've put my work out there and people have seen it. People have told me what they feel about it. Some comments are not good, some are good. So the ones that are not good, I don't see them as a bad influence on my craft. No. I see them as someone else has looked at it from their own perspective and seen something that is lacking in it. So what I do is I take up those bad criticisms and I say, okay, fine. I look at how exactly they influenced my work or how exactly my work has influenced that person to see it this way. And I look for a way to, get better at it. Meaning I look for a way to infuse their own feedback into my work while still retaining my authenticity. But I just make it better.
Now, show me any book in this place that is as sweet as you.
Oh, really?
You know what?
I think the creative industry in Nigeria is mind blowing. The fact that we've moved so fast in this technological age, you see a lot of creatives standing up these days. You see people doing wonders. You see content creators making millions. You see the movie industry moving to where it is, and you are amazed. Success. that's a really that's a really broad word, but success to me as a creative is people actually sitting back and loving my work, people seeing themselves reflected in my art is the biggest flex I can ever have. I'm not saying I should forget the money, the money, the wealth, the fame. Oh, please. But I'm saying the ability for people to see themselves reflected in your stories, in your videos. That's a massive flex, man. And that is success. Okay, so my book, Firestorm, is a story that talks about two women whose lives have been shaped by society. One is a woman who fights for her daughter who has been kidnapped, and the other is one on the precipice of giving birth, and they are both caught up in this tight space where they are caught between doing what is right for their children and staying right by society. So this piece was really it's really personal to me because I always stand up for the African woman. If you know me, I am a staunch feminist. Like I love everything that has to do with women, our bodies, who we are meant to be. And yeah, you can definitely get it online on Amazon, on Okada Books, and it will soon be on Creative Ninja because I'm planning on, spreading it everywhere. And very soon, hard copies will be on sales. So please just stay tuned and I'll let you know. Where do I see myself and my work in the next 5 years? I see myself as a full-time content creator. I see myself giving, talks, public speeches in different events at the time. I see myself having been a published author of a certain amount of books. I see myself having performed in big events. I see myself being accessible to the average youth who feels like they cannot begin right now. I feel myself accessible to that person because I once was there. Like I said, I want you to see yourself reflected in my story. If there was any advice I would give to, other creatives like myself, probably those who have just, begun, I would say, like I said earlier, just start. But just starting is not enough. Consistency is another thing. Consistency, I know I'm saying this, it is hard to be consistent in this journey. But by the time you constantly keep reminding yourself of why you even began, one thing you should never let go of is why you started this in the first place. You started on this path for a reason, and you should never let go of that reason. My name is Isidima Nnamdi, also known as Flowers Express. I am a writer, a spoken word poet, an actor, a voiceover artist, and a content creator. This is my creative story.